Insemmilkom u nilqakom għall-programm Airborne illum iddeċidejna li niddedikaw għal din il-konferenza illi saret għall-ewwel darba f'Malta, the Malta Aviation Conference and Expo. U miegħi għandi lil Joshua Zamit illi huwa wieħed mill-fundaturi flimkien ma' Jonathan Dalli u Stanley Buġejja illi ħolmu b'din il-konferenza u propju qiegħda isseħħ għall-ewwel darba. Ħatkun xi ħaġa annwali. Joshua, l-ewwel nirringrazzjak, proset u nixtieq forsi tini overview tagħha, l-pożizzjoni tagħha u kemm importanti għal Malta.
Iva, din hija konferenza li naħsbu fuqha għal ftit żmien mhux ħażin. Meta ntqajna jiena Stanley u Jonathan konna qegħdin niddiskutu ridna nagħmlu xi ħaġa illi toħroġ l-iżvilupp li sar f'dan il-pajjiż fuq l-avjazzjoni. Għandna industrija tal-avjazzjoni b'saħħitha, issa qegħdin nilagħbu fil-Premier Division tal-avjazzjoni u allura ħassejna li għandu jkun hemm event illi joħroġ dan kollu u servi bħala platform biex inkomplu niżviluppaw l-avjazzjoni f'Malta.
Ġew ukoll numru ta' delegati minn barra, jiġifieri diġà naħseb permezz tal-speakers li għażiltu ħajkolkom propju diġà il-feedback jidher li huwa tajjeb ħafna.
Iva, il-feedback huwa tajjeb, in-nies qegħdin jgħidulna illi l-speaker list hija high level ħafna. Qed inħossu wkoll illi hemm ċertu interaction, n-nies qed jieħdu gost, għandna networking sessions, ġifieri l-affarijiet kollha li wieħed jistenna qed jiġru. Given hija l-ewwel edizzjoni kuntenti ħafna ovvjament bl-outcome, kellna bieħdu ieħor xi 350 parteċipant over the 3 days li minnhom 60% huma ġejjin minn barra. U allura hija xi ħaġa li se tibda ssir kull sena, hija xi ħaġa li aħna proud ħafna li rnexxinna nagħmluha daqshekk tajjeb mill-ewwel u nisperaw li bħala mejz tkun waħda mill-events tal-avjazzjoni li kollha footprint mhux biss lokali imma wkoll Ewropew.
Proset u grazzi ħafna, ovvjament aħna se nkomplu dan il-programm tagħna billi ntukom taster żgħir ta' uħud mill-speakers u dak illi kellhom xi jgħidu f'din il-konferenza tant importanti. James Hogan kien President u Kap Eżekuttiv tal-Etihad Aviation Group bejn l-2006 u l-2017. Taħt it-tmexxija tiegħu il-kumpanija kibret għal waħda mill-ikbar fid-dinja u rebħet għadd ta' titli fosthom Airline of the Year tar-rivista prestiġjuża Air Transport World. Mr. Hogan, thank you for giving us this interview. Malta is indeed positioning itself at the forefront of the aviation hub in Europe and possibly even the world. What is Malta doing right? What are its right moves? What is it focusing on? And what will it yield to the market?
When you look at global aviation, Malta is uniquely positioned from a government, EU membership, financial, fiscal stability. So all the key factors in regard to governance that you look at when one wants to invest in a country. So that's good, that's a great tick. If you look over the past years, Malta has done a great job in shipping, registration, and also in aviation and aerospace. When one considers not only the national carrier Air Malta, but the work with Lufthansa Technik, the work with engineering companies that fit out aircraft, it's already established a presence and has a label as an effective brand in aerospace. However, the next stage is how do you take advantage of that foundation to build other pillars? And you've seen more entrants, more airlines are coming into Malta. You've also got other industry sectors, and the Prime Minister today discussed about the leasing industry, and that's another exciting pillar to create opportunity here in Malta and to not only benefit the economy, but to benefit the people. So there's a great can-do attitude. It's a great place to do work. I love coming here. And we're very excited to be positioned for this next phase of the aviation story in Malta.
You mentioned that aviation brings jobs, and indeed, during your time in the Middle East, you were recruiting female pilots at a time when culture and tradition over there even required the female passenger to get a signature from her father. What kind of opportunities are you seeing us Maltese to have in the aviation sector?
Well, I think one has to remember there are so many Maltese people already in aviation in the rest of the world. So at my previous company, Etihad, I had Maltese management, I had Maltese pilots, I had Maltese cabin crew, I had Maltese engineers. So if you look outside of Malta, there's already that Malta stamp. Nevertheless, you've got two opportunities. Firstly, to bring some of those people back that have got those skills. As the airline activity here develops, as the industry develops, you can bring those people back. The flip side is how you develop jobs for the next generation. And in my previous role, I certainly spent time with the appropriate development agencies, understanding we spoke and dealt with the universities in regard to curriculum, in regard to engineers, in regard to IT, to ensure that the university programs gave the right skill set to feed into internships. Yes. Because it's a proven methodology that aviation creates jobs. And maybe not only in the airline, but it can be the engineering company, it can be in the hotel. Because the more visitors you have means you need to employ more staff in the hotel to cater for those visitors. So the downstream effect of jobs across the travel, tourism, hospitality sector is considerable.
Thank you very much and wish you a pleasant day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Qabel ma ngħaqad ma' Eurocontrol, Eamon Brennan, id-Direttur Ġenerali, kien il-Kap Eżekuttiv tal-Awtorità tal-Avjazzjoni Irlandiża. Mr. Brennan, thank you very much for giving us this interview. My first question is going to be about the aviation challenges that Europe is facing.
For Europe at the moment, we have three top challenges as far as we're concerned in Eurocontrol. Firstly is the provision of air traffic capacity in Europe. This is a significant bottleneck and we need to advance that with the Single European Sky. The second is the environmental footprint and sustainability of aviation. And the third thing is to preserve the connectivity and the competitiveness of European aviation. These are key for the continent because we're facing challenges in Asia, in America, so Europe has to make sure that we retain a competitive advantage over these regions. Otherwise, our industry and our business will suffer.
You mentioned the 5 top things that need to be addressed to face these challenges. What are they?
I mean, aviation is going to continue to grow. In Eurocontrol, we're predicting 2% growth for aviation for the next 20 years. And if you look back at the last 40 years, every single year, except a little blip here and there, your aviation has grown. So we have to be facing with a prospect of aviation growing. And when you look at an island like Malta, aviation is core and central. So in Europe, what we have to do, and Malta plays a key part in shaping the European policy agenda, is we have to be very sure that we address the connectivity issue, the profitability issue, and the environment issue. And for me, there are 2 things that can happen. First of all, the politicians in Europe need to implement the European Single Sky. That's basically treat the skies of Europe as one, in the same way as we have a single common market, as we have a banking union, as we have a pharmaceutical union, as we have a customs union, as we have Schengen. But in the skies, it's all fragmented. And we need to address this because otherwise we're polluting the environment, we're not being connectivity efficient, and we're basically not being competitive. So that's really is number 1 that they need to do. And second, on sustainability, we need to move away, in my view, from a culture of taxing aviation. We need to incentivize what actually deals with the CO2 emissions, and this is sustainable aviation fuels. We need to provide for, they're 5 times more expensive than regular fuels, so Europe has to incentivize their production, incentivize their distribution, incentivize also the production of new technology, composite aircraft, electrification of aircraft, hydrogen aircraft. All of these things are positive things we can do in Europe to reduce emissions. The answer is not to reduce travel. The answer is to actually reduce the CO2 and focus on this, because unless the tax is dedicated directly to dealing with these issues and providing research, then it just becomes another tax on the citizen. And for an island economy like Malta, it's very counterproductive. So that's my genuine view, and I think you really can shape it in Malta as an island economy. I come from an island economy in Ireland originally, and I understand the issues, and you particularly have the same issues. So my view is to make sure your voice is heard in Europe.
Captain Patch, dal-għodu diġa kienet diskussjoni interessanti ħafna u smajna affarijiet li kienu very insightful. X'inhu l-iktar ħaġa li laqtitek?
Naqbel miegħek kienet għodwa tajba ħafna. Laqatni ovvjament is-speech tal-Prim Ministru fejn ħabbar x-xogħol li tisir biex jinħoloq suq u ambizzjoni kbira li Malta tippożizzjoni ruħha fis-settur tal-aircraft leasing. Huwa xi ħaġa ġdida, xi ħaġa li rridu nħarsu lejha l qudiem li tista' tikkrea opportunitajiet kbar għal pajjiżna f'dan l-ambjent.
Dr. Dalli, il-perċezzjoni tan-nies hi li s-settur tal-avjazzjoni huwa settur illi iniġġes. Fl-opinjoni tiegħek x'għandu jagħmel dan is-settur biex ikun aktar sostenibbli?
Ara, kull settur industrijali b'xi mod jew ieħor iniġġes. Imma hemm bżonn li kull settur jikkontribwixxi biex inqas dak it-tniġġis. Issa jiena naf li fil-qasam tal-avjazzjoni hemm diversi alternattivi li qegħdin jiġu studjati, uħud minnhom li diġà bdew jiġu applikati, ġifieri llum il-ġurnata pereżempju nitkellmu dwar ajruplani li jnitsu inqas milli kienu jnitsu snin ilu. Qegħdin nitkellmu anki dwar xi tip ta' biofuels għalkemm it-teknoloġija trid tavanza ħafna iktar minn hekk. Imma jekk verament aħna ser nimxu għal mudell ekonomiku ġdid fejn irridu naċċertaw ruħna li jkollna opportunitajiet ta' business li jgħinu l-ekonomija tikber fl-istess ħin li nħarsu l-ambjent u l-klima tagħna, allura rridu jiena ngħid aħna bħala policy makers flimkien mal-stakeholders tal-industrija noqogħdu bil-qeda flimkien biex naraw x'inhi l-aħjar triq il-qudiem. Li żgur mhijiex triq il-qudiem li jkollok xi settur jgħid li jiena ma rridx nikkontribwixxi. Xi ħaġa li s-settur tal-avjazzjoni mhux jagħmel għaliex qiegħed jara wkoll x'teknoloġiji ġodda, x'teknoloġiji moderni jista' jadatta. Però ovvjament bħal kull settur ieħor hemm bżonn li daw il-passi l qudiem isiru iktar malajr, jiena ngħid għall benefiċċju ta' kulħadd. Għaliex jekk adapitada naslu f'punt li jkollhom jittieħdu ċertu miżuri li jħallu impatt negattiv, ser ibatu l-industriji kollha. Allura għalhekk sabiħ li inti tara industri li jkunu proattivi li jaraw huma kif jistgħu jindirizzaw dik l-isfida li jkollhom qudiemhom.
Dan huwa settur li qed joffri ħafna opportunitajiet ukoll u għaldaqstant naħseb iridu naħsbu fir-riżorsa umana. Diġà qed isir hekk, x'taħseb illi għandna nagħmlu biex anke ir-riżorsa umana lokali stess issostni dan is-settur?
Ara jien nieħu gost niġi konferenzi bħal din tal-lum li jkunu organizzati mill-industrija tal-avjazzjoni. U nieħu gost niġi għaliex il-fatt li nkun mistiedna biex nitkellem huwa wkoll acknowledgement li l-industrija trid tagħmel xi ħaġa fejn jidħol il-qasam ambjentali għax fejn tkellimna kien propju anki dwar l-isfida tas-sostenibilità, li nħarsu l-klima u l-qasam ambjentali. U hemmhekk għandna wkoll opportunità ngħid jiena ta' impjiegi ġodda. Issa fl-aħħar snin konna fortunati biżżejjed li s-settur tal-avjazzjoni kiber. Illum il-ġurnata il-Gvern qed iħares lejn dan is-settur bħala kontributur ewlieni, wieħed mill-kontributuri ewlenin tal-ekonomija. Meta inti ikollok gvern li jara dak l-aspett, ikollok miżuri li jkunu qegħdin jgħinu dik l-industrija partikolari. Imma bħal kull industrija oħra li tkun qed tikber brata maġla, min ikun qed jaħdem dik l-industrija għandu bżonn ir-riżorsa umana. U huwa fatt li ħafna drabi ikollna anki nimpurtaw talent minn barra. Għaliex inti jekk ma jkollokx l-expertise f'pajjiżek, ikollok timporta talent minn barra. Jiena nixtieq li naslu f'sitwazzjoni fejn dawn l-industri li jħallsu tajjeb, li jistgħu joffru karriera liż-żgħażagħ tagħna, ikunu qegħdin isibu ħaddiema Maltin. Ikunu qegħdin isibu żgħażagħ Maltin li diġà ttrenjati jafu din il-karriera xi tfisser għalihom u li jistgħu jaħdmu f'din il-karriera. Issa ħafna drabi nitkellmu dwar il-ħtieġa li nindirizzaw pereżempju studenti li qegħdin fil-livell tal-MCAS jew fil-livell tal-università. Jiena ngħid ejja nibdew nindirizzaw l-istudenti mill-livell sekondarju. Għaliex int fil-livell sekondarju jekk iż-żgħażagħ tagħna ikunu aware ta' x'inhuma l-karrieri li għandhom qudiemhom u llum ninsabu f'pożizzjoni fejn aħna fortunati li għandna ħafna karrieri minn fejn iż-żgħażagħ tagħna jistgħu jażlu.
Li mhumiex tekniċi biss.
Mhumiex tekniċi biss u mhumiex il-karrieri tradizzjonali. Jiġifieri dawn huma karrieri fejn studenti tfajliet, bniet, studenti subien jistgħu jaħdmu, jista' jkollhom suċċess, jistgħu jaqilgħu il-flus u jkunu kuntenti. Fejn inti jkollok bżonn ħiliet mela le teknoloġiċi, imma ħiliet li mhumiex neċessarjament teknoloġiċi, ħiliet manwali, għal żmien twil jisna l-ħiliet manwali nsejnihom. Jiena ngħid ejja anke mill-livell sekondarju l-ewwel nett daw l-istudenti u l-ġenituri tagħhom li jkunu aware ta' x'karrieri jeżistu, jaraw xi skills hemm bżonn u biex dawk iż-żgħażagħ tagħna jitħarġu f'dawk l-skills meħtieġa. Għaliex 5 snin, 10 snin jgħaddu malajr u dawk l-istudenti li llum qegħdin fuq il-bank tal-iskola fl-iskola sekondarja 10 snin oħra ser ikunu l-ħaddiema li jkunu qegħdin jaħdmu fl-ekonomija tagħna.
Business aviation has made a very clear commitment to combat climate change and to reduce its carbon footprint. The key to that is a 2% fuel efficiency cumulative in the decade that we are in now, and we are well on track to reach that target. In addition to which, we will achieve carbon neutral growth from 2020 onwards, and this should lead to a reduction of 50% of carbon by 2050. One of the most important things that business aviation is doing is investing heavily in innovation, in new technologies, and in the sustainable aviation fuel to help us achieve those targets in the years to come.
Business aviation joffri ħafna opportunitajiet, hemm diversi opportunitajiet ta' impjieg mhux biss bħala pilot jew engineera, hemm pożizzjonijiet bħal ma ngħidulhom dispatch, fl-operations, fl-operat, ticketing, supporting tal-crew, technicians, quality, hemm diversi. X'qed nagħmlu bħala Malta Business Aviation Association huwa ħafna affarijiet. L-ewwel waħda hija awareness. Jiġifieri naraw kif iwasslu l-messaġġ lill-istudenti tagħna żgħar li l-aviation mhux biss airlines, Lufthansa, Air Malta, imma dawn il-kumpaniji żgħar li joperaw ajruplani kbar u żgħar fejn qed joffru opportunità għaw Malta iktar minn dawk il-kumpaniji mill-kumpaniji l-kbar. Qed ukoll nagħmlu programmi fejn qed immorru f'dawn l-iskejjel, invitajnihom għal din l-aħħar konferenza tal-MCAST fil-fatt fejn urejnihom tajnihom l-opportunità jisimgħu nies fl-industrija, wara ħadnihom ġo maintenance organization u raw ix-xogħol divers, mhux ġas biss nies isewwu l-ajruplan, imma nies jieħdu ħsieb l-istor, nies jieħdu ħsieb l-accounts. U urejnihom ukoll dispatch ta' ajruplani. U nixtiequ nkomplu b'dawn it-tip ta' inizjattivi biex nuru tfal tagħna llum x'jobs jista' jkun hemm illum ġiġa u anke fil-futur fejn jistgħu jagħmlu karriera għalihom.
Dr. Sengupta hija inġinier aeronautiku speċjalist fil-qasam spazjali. Ħadmet man-NASA għal 16-il sena. Fost il-proġetti tagħha hemm is-sistema ta' nżul illi waslet il-vettura Curiosity fuq il-pjaneta Mars. Illum il-ġurnata hija kap eżekuttiv ta' kumpanija li qed tiżviluppa soluzzjonijiet ġodda għal mobilità urbana illi jnaqsu t-tniġġis u l-konġestjoni tat traffiku. Taħdem ukoll fuq sforzi biex jitnaqqas it-tniġġis mill-avjazzjoni.
Dr. Sengupta, how did you take your engineering skills from working with NASA to the urban air transportation?
So I worked for NASA for most of my career, for 16 years. My background is in electric propulsion systems, which are high-efficiency propulsion systems for spacecraft. So I worked on the propulsion system for the Dawn mission that went to the main asteroid belt and visited 2 asteroids. And then after that, I worked on the development of entry, descent, and landing systems, specifically on the team that landed the Curiosity rover on Mars, which are really complex aerodynamic vehicles. And so the way I transfer that knowledge to aviation is I know how to design brand new systems, which are really complicated and require lots of new technology, and make them work the first time.
So how is that going to work on our planet?
So my current role is I've co-founded an electric VTOL company, so a vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. And so we're designing an aircraft called the Mobi-1, which is a tilt-wing aircraft, which has the ability to take off and land vertically from parking lots, from rooftops, and be able to transport people up to 100 miles a distance away. So we have built a total of 5 subscale aircraft so far, so I'll be showing a video of one of the subscale aircraft that we use for engineering demonstration purposes, and then we hope to have a full-scale one built in the next 18 months. So we're designing a vehicle to be able to do transits of up to 100 miles, so one could imagine taking one of our Mobi-1 tilt wings across the mainland Europe over to Malta and using that as a means of transportation or the delivery of cargo.
What is the future of sustainable urban air transport?
So going with fully electric flight for urban air mobility, it kickstarts the entire sustainable aviation business in general in terms of going electric. So I see eventually aircraft which are designed for regional transport between major cities, eventually cross-country transport, and then eventually transatlantic transport. And one of the technologies that has to facilitate that is even higher energy density batteries or hydrogen fuel cells.
How about the future of the aviation world in general?
So I see this future of sustainable aviation requires a whole development of new technologies, specifically to facilitate electric aviation, fully electric, emission-free, low-carbon footprint flight. And one of the ways to bring that about is with urban air mobility. And the reason for that is that urban air mobility is quite short range, and so it's a natural fit for a battery power plant.
Jonathan, l-aktar punti li ħarġu li laqtuk minn din il-konferenza li tħoss li fuqhom tistgħu tkomplu tibnu?
Naħseb li l-konferenza tal-lum il-ġurnata kollha tatna spunti tajbin għall-aġenda tas-sena d-dieħla kważi. Kenna nies li qed jiddiskutu l-isfidi li qed tiffaċċja din l-industrija, kenna nies bħall-Prim Ministru li semmew kif Malta żviluppat minn cluster għal anki affarijiet oħrajn kif semma l-Kaptan Paġ qabli u fosthom anki kif Malta fil-qasam tal-avjazzjoni qed isegwi dak li ġara f'industriji oħrajn bħal gaming, bħal yachting, bħal servizzi finanzjarji. Naħseb dak kien l-aspett definitely pożittiv. Kenna mbagħad ma ngħidux negattiv jien imma ngħidlu affarijiet li din l-industrija ma tiddejjaqx iddiskuti bħal pereżempju il-diskors ta' sustainability, il-diskors tal-istat ambjentali u kif din l-industrija tista' tkompli, anzi kważi tirreaġixxi b'mod immedjat fuq dak li qed jiffaċċja l-industrija llum. U naħseb dawn l-affarijiet kollha, anke kif tkellmet pereżempju Dr. Anita, kif tkellem James Hogan, kif tkellem id-Direttur Ġenerali tal-Eurocontrol. Naħseb dawn spunti interessanti biex ikollna aġenda anki għal Mejs 2020.
Nittama li sibtu dak li ntqal illum interessanti f'dan il-programm, jiena li naf żgur u mill-esperjenza tiegħi illi n-nies li jaħdmu fis-settur tal-avjazzjoni huma nies ta' azzjoni, huma nies ta' pjan u ta' implementazzjoni. Ġifieri m'għandix dubju li dawk l-isfidi li jsemmew kif ukoll l-opportunitajiet illi jeżistu sa jkunu qegħdin jiġu attwati. U bekk ġejna fit-tmiem il-programm Airborne għallum. Nixtiequ nirringrazzjaw lill-sponsors ta' dan il-programm: Air Malta, Malta International Airport, Malta Air Traffic Services, Transport Malta u Enemed. Fil-programm li jmiss ta' Airborne niltaqgħu ma' David Grima li jtina orjentazzjoni tal-operat tal-Ajruport Internazzjonali ta' Malta. Inżuru l-Mużew tal-Avjazzjoni fejn se nsiru nafu aktar dwar il-proġetti ta' restawr li jmiss u naraw l-avventura tar-rebbieħ tal-kompetizzjoni Fuel Your Dream with Enemed
li xwiereb.